Hi, everybody. Welcome back to my platform. Those of you that are returning and those of you that are new, welcome to my platform. My name is Astraea Love, and I'm going to be doing a reading for you guys today. So I hope everybody has had a good day wherever you're at in the world, you guys. God bless you and peace be with you. Please know that my readings are timeless, which means it could be 5, 10, 20, even more years in the future, and there's still going to be messages in this reading for you. My hope is that you guys learn to use your discernment through these readings by using your discernment in the reading. And basically then in your real life, when you come across a challenge or something that you need to use your discernment with, you will have already done so. Also, these readings are to prosper you, they are to benefit you, and they are to assist you on your divine life purpose, in your divine life purpose, getting towards your divine life purpose. Okay. All right. So as I make sure my cards are in the upright, welcome everybody. It's my pleasure to be here with you, and thank you guys for spending your time with me. Thank you guys for spending your time with God, and thank you for all of your love, your support, your likes, your shares, your subscribes. All of that means the world to this platform, and it really helps this platform grow and reach the people that it's meant to reach, which is what we want. Okay, so by watching my readings, you are agreeing to the contract of being in control of yourself, responsible for yourself, and with any of the information being channeled. Please be on your best behavior because the Most High God is watching and the Holy Spirit is listening. By watching my readings, you are agreeing not to attack, bully, or persecute me, anybody in the comments, or anybody in the chat. Okay. So I always start my readings with the cards in the upright. I never start it with them being in the reverse because I just feel like I'll be starting on the wrong foot, right? Okay. So God bless wherever you guys are at in the world. I hope you guys are having an amazing day. It is a great time to be alive. A lot of good things are happening. There may be a lot of chaos in the world, but there's also a lot of positivity as well. So I am grateful for you guys. I am grateful for YouTube, and I am grateful for the possibility that I have here to connect with you all. Okay, so tagged in the tagged products attached to this channel, you're going to see a list of books. Now, all of the books that are tagged in the tagged products attached to this channel, I have read personally, and I have found that they have helped me out while I've been on my spiritual journey. So that is why I've tagged them in the products. But there are 2 specific books that you're going to see tagged in the products that mean the world to me. And just to let you guys know, if any of you have any personal questions, you can send me a $20 super chat with your question, and I'll pause the collective reading and I will answer your question, okay? So the first book that I'm going to talk about is The Truth of God. I've been using the techniques from The Truth of God for 10 years with success, and it has completely transformed my life beyond what I would ever be able to do on my own. And that's just my own opinion. So, the techniques in The Truth of God are very, very powerful, and they're very, very positively charged, very high vibrational energy. And so I'm going to go ahead and read the back of the book. If you're interested in learning more, stay to the ending of this reading, and I'll do a little bit in-depth talk about it, okay? But I use the techniques from this book every day. You see me use the techniques from this book in this reading, or other readings, all of the readings actually. Okay, so the truth of God is an evolutionary encounter with that which we know as God, gaining new perspective into who we are and from where we came. First, the journey to God takes you to the realm where it all began, making many discoveries along the way. Next, the story of God explains what has seemed to be indescribable, creation and the path that led to what we perceive to be reality. Last, in the spiritual workbook, Michael gives us information and techniques that will allow us to free ourselves from those ideas and emotions that are hindering our spiritual progress, and methods to open up the channel between the conscious mind that we are aware of and the inner consciousness that many are becoming aware of. If you guys have ever heard anyone say, oh, my inner self, that's what we're talking about when we are saying inner consciousness. Okay, the second book I'm going to be talking about just very briefly is the book that I have written, and it is called Sorry. Nose, my hair getting in my face as usual. It is called Vassago, Vassago, Tarot Card Spreads and Spells. Written by me, Astraea Love. Now, I created this book because I only had like my spiritual team. My ears are really hot, so maybe somebody is talking about this situation. My spiritual team, Vassago, God, the Holy Spirit, the divine, to teach me how to read energy, how to read cards, how to use my discernment. Okay. So I created a book that is going to teach you how to read cards for yourself and for others, for those that are interested. You got the book, The Truth of God? Oh, that makes me so happy. Oh my gosh. That makes me so happy. Literally. Oh my gosh. That makes me so happy. It is going to change your life. Oh my gosh. It's got so many great techniques in it. And it explains things and just breaks things down when it comes to spirituality in a very simple way. Like what I love about The Truth of God is that it's an easy read. The font is big and it's a very easy read. Like you could get through it in one day or one afternoon. But the good thing about The Truth of God and Vassago, these are books that you're going to use more than once. It's not just going to be like a one-time thing, right? Yes, it is an easy read. I have read The Power of Now. Yeah, I read it when I was like 16 and I loved it. Oh my gosh, I felt like it actually helped me. And I remind myself of the things that are in it still. If I find myself, because to me, past equals pain, future equals fear. And all fear is false evidence appearing real. So anyways, love it. That makes me so happy. So Vassago Tarot Card Spreads and Spells will teach you how to read cards for yourself and for other people. I'm going to read the back of the book, which it talks about me just a little bit. And it talks about the book. So I also have tagged in the products, the Quick and Easy Original Rider-Waite Tarot. If you learn the interpretations from these cards, you can go to any specialty deck. And when they give you like an abstract picture that has nothing to do with what the card means, you'll have the original. When people ask questions and I use a different deck, I always keep this out because if I pull a card where I feel like it just isn't representing the energy of the actual interpretation, because the system of tarot is an archetype energy. So that means that what an archetype is it's a energy that is within every person. So it's in the human consciousness. So I'll go into more depth about tarot at the end if you guys are interested. But I'm just going to read the back of the book and then we'll get into the reading. So Astraea Love is a psychic intuitive that has been living, that's me, living between the spiritual and the physical world since she was a little girl playing with the fairies in her backyard. She has helped countless people find answers to their questions about life and about their life experiences with the help of the Most High God, providing inspiration in many forms. This book was inspired by the Ars Goetia spirit known as Vassago. He has assisted me in designing the different tarot card spreads in this book so that they cater to her personal experience. I, for one, know how difficult it can be to read cards for yourself due to our personal attachment to the outcome. This book will assist you in getting past that blockage and in obtaining the spiritual truth that will set you on your divine life purpose, aka spiritual path. This book of never before created major arcana spreads references the standard Rider-Waite tarot deck for all explanations and includes spells and rituals for the 22 major arcana cards. The major arcanas is going to be your guys' favorites, like the sun, the moon, the world, the star, let's see, the death, the high priestess, the hierophant, the magician, the last judgment, the hangman, the emperor, the empress, the lovers. I don't know if I said the lovers. So this book of never before created major arcana spreads references the standard Rider-Waite tarot deck for all explanations and includes spells and rituals for each of the 22 major arcana cards. And then in the back of the book, different card combination descriptions are gifted from my years of practical knowledge and are included in the additional notes section. Okay. So I am so thrilled to be with you guys and to connecting with you guys wherever you're at in the world. I always find it very interesting. If you guys could do me a favor and like the video, smash that like button, tap the notification bell, make sure you are subscribed. All of that really, really helps. and it repays the energy, and it is a kindness that you have no idea how much that means to me. And I just want to say thank you guys for all of your support, all of your kindness, and for all of your love. All right, so I'm giving the cards a good shuffle, and then we're going to see what comes through. But my message for you is pretty simple. There's going to be a situation that arises very quickly. And oh my gosh, I love that tea. It's like dollar store tea. And I got that tea and I got another tea. And then the dollar store does this, like it will carry something, you buy it, you find out you like it, then you want to go back and get more, and then they don't have it anymore. And so I'm like savoring this tea. So anyways, as with all things, right? I was so happy when the dollar store came out because, you know, sometimes the prices at Walmart can be a little bit higher, and then having a dollar store, or they're called Dollar Trees. It's another form of money tree, but I love those stores. Like seriously, I always find the best goodies in there. I used to burn a lot of candles and pray while I burn the candles, and now I don't burn candles, but I used to spend like $50 getting candles at the dollar store. So I'm glad I don't have to spend as much money now, but I still love. Oh, thank you, you guys. Thank you for your kindness. I still love going there. Okay, so let's cut the deck and see what we have. So this situation for some of you, again, this is a collective reading, which means I'm reading everybody's energy, past, present, and future. So you just got to use your discernment. Unlike I was saying at the beginning, this teaches you how to use your discernment, these readings. So we're going to see what situations. I feel like for some of you, there's going to be a love situation that comes forward or comes full circle, which could be, and I consider when you close out a cycle with somebody to be a blessing, especially if it's like an ex. And then a new cycle begins with somebody new. I really like that energy. I love new energy. And so we're going to see what situation, but I get that for some of you, it's going to be love. For some of you, it's going to be career. For some of you, it's going to be moving to a new place. And I like all of those things. High Priestess. For some of you, it's going to be a new spiritual ability that you were not aware that you had. What I'm seeing is that maybe you used this ability when you were a child, and then somebody told you poo-pooed it, okay? Like I literally spent the majority of my life, even into my teens, walking around my yard talking to fairies out loud. And people probably thought I was insane. I did it at school as well because they were always with me. So that's for me, that's like my High Priestess showing through in the past. But I do get that you've had this ability the entire time since you were a child. There's children right there. But maybe you didn't know that you had it, or you only used it a couple times because you got scolded, something like that. So this is a very happy reuniting with your higher self, the part of you that is divine. Also, you guys may be seeing through certain situations. Like I personally have found that it is extremely difficult to tell the difference between AI content and real content. And to me, that's really creepy due to the fact that it's AI generated. That to me is just very creepy. How they always have these like videos that have this news that they're bringing out, you know? And so I always have to double fact check everything. So if I see like a YouTube video about this subject and then I go do a Google search on it and it says, no, that's not happening, then I'm like, I got duped again by the AI. But the way that technology is developing, I think is faster than we could have even perceived it to be. So there could be, something that develops technology-wise when it comes to farming, when it comes to breeding animals, animal husbandry, that's what it's called, that comes forward. And I just feel like this is a time This next year, like from now until this next year, going all the way through it, it's going to be a time for new ideas and new projects to come to the surface. New experiences, the Magician. So somebody could be thinking like, oh, they must do magic so that they have this ability. There is no magic behind it. I mean, I guess if you want to think of it that way, but not traditional magic. Traditional magic would be like using all of these elements, like a wand or candle. I don't know if that's a double-sided candle, which those are used in witchcraft. I just don't really know what they're for. And then I always look at the infinity sign above the head, the chalice, the other wand that's on the table, the pentacle, which represents money, the knife, which represents fire and sword. So it's not like you're using traditional magic. I feel like this could be folk magic. Folk magic is like remedies. Okay, so let's say you get, and this is not me speaking this into creation. Oh, thank you for the sticker. But just for an example, folk medicine is like, let's say you get a toothache and you go to your Mima, you go to grandma, and grandma says, okay, oh, here's a good one that I know isn't actually a real one. Let's say you have a wart on your finger and you go to Mima's house and grandma goes, let me see, will you let me buy that wart from you? You go, what? You buy the wart on my finger? Yeah, I'm gonna buy the wart on your finger. And then your grandma takes out, oh, I love the flow state sticker. Thank you so much. She takes out a quarter and she rubs it on your wart. And then, she says, okay, now go get rid of this quarter. Either give it to someone or I probably wouldn't give it to somebody, but bury it, do something with it. Okay. And then that wart ends up going away on its own. That's what folk magic is. There's another one with a toothache. And this is something that I've heard of as well. Oh, welcome back, Kiwi Kid. Of somebody like having a toothache and going to Mima, and Mima goes, all right, show me what tooth it is. And, shows what tooth it is. And then Mima goes out writes down what tooth it is, because each tooth has a different position, writes down what your name and what tooth it is, and then goes and drills a hole in a tree. It could be any type of tree in the yard, sticks that little piece of paper in that tree, and then puts a nail in the hole and goes in the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit and hammers that in, and then your toothache goes away. So that's what folk magic is. Okay. So let me look at your question. So I'm going to be answering Kiwi Kid's question. Okay. You really love Irene, whatever it takes to have her back, to love on you and be good to you. Smelling terribly, knew she was attacking me, and she's an alien too. Okay. So let's look into that. Let's use the Twin Flame Tarot. Okay. I know you love Irene. And I really, Irene is the one that thought that you cheated on her, right? Wasn't that the issue? And then the smelling terribly, is that you smelling terribly or her smelling terribly? Oh, I'm like, sometimes new things will come in the chat, but it stays stuck on the one thing. So it's $20 super chat per question, and I set a 20-minute time. Okay, so you're smelling. Okay, so is it your armpits or is it your feet? Is it what area of your body is it? Yeah, whatever Steve told her. Because smells, okay, if there is a sulfur smell, that could be something that's demonic going on that we just need to look at. But sometimes if it's an onion smell or like a taco smell, I know this sounds really weird, but our bodies get rid of toxins through sweat. Like that's one way our bodies can get rid of toxins. All of you is smelling. Okay. Okay, let me just ask, what should be done about that? And you're taking regular showers, right? I don't disclose my real name. I already have enough people attacking me with the fake name that I have, so, or online name, I should say. No, I don't get that he's cheated, okay? Yes, her name is Irene. Okay. Let me just see what Spirit has to say about the smell. Another thing is to go through and clean your apartment or your condo. I'm getting that's a building attached to others. Now, black magic does have a smell, and usually, and so I kind of associate black magic and demons as the two sides of the same coin, kind of. But it does have a sulfury, dirty. It's like, this is gonna be vulgar, but it's kind of smells like shit and death at the same time. Have you ever like smelled a dead rat? A very gross smell. So that's what I associate with black magic. You change your bed sheets. Okay. Let me just make sure that. Okay. And so what have you, okay, going on sulfur, heavy metals since 2019. When was it that you gave that high priestess money? Do you know what year it was? Okay. So sulfur, heavy metal. Okay. So one thing that I know that works very, very well to pull the smells in 2020. Okay, so this was happening before that situation. So now that we can locate the time frame. So yeah, just let you guys know if you have any personal questions to send a $20 super chat, and I will pause the collective reading and answer a question, but I'm answering Kiwi Kid's question. Okay, so when it comes to the heavy metal sulfur thing, there is a foot bath that I know that works really, really well. And the combination of these ingredients, when you do this foot bath, in fact, the other psychic just did this foot bath the other day, and it really, really helped him. So you take a hot bucket of water, one that you can fit both of your feet in, and you make the water as hot as you can without burning your felt. Like you want it to be steaming, but not so hot that it's going to burn you. Then you take 1 cup of apple cider vinegar, you add it to the water. You take 1 cup of Epsom salt. Now, Epsom salt in itself has really good properties. It's got magnesium, and you add that into the water, and then you can go to the grocery store and get fresh ginger, peel back, when you get ginger, it's got skin on it. They usually look like little ginger people. So you peel the skin back on it, slice off a little piece of ginger, and then score it so that you've cut into it this way and you've cut into it that way. That way all the juices can release. Put that in the hot bucket of water, and then you let your feet soak for at least 20 to 35 minutes. I would probably do 35 minutes for the smell, okay? Another thing is that I don't know if you've got a bathtub, but because what that does when you stick your feet in that specific bath, what it does is that combination of ingredients opens up the lymph nodes on the bottom of your feet, and it starts pulling the heavy metals out of your body. And so the water will actually change color, and it will get kind of slimy and gross, and that's how you know that it's working. But yeah, I would definitely use that foot soak. And then another thing is if you've got really smelly armpits or just really smelly all over, to add some apple cider vinegar to your bath, okay? You don't have to add a whole lot. I would add literally 1 cup, and then let your body soak in that. And by doing that, it opens up your pores, your lymph nodes, so that you can release. And so you want to be definitely drinking. I would be drinking water or Gatorade, one or the other, to replenish yourself. but always keeps you from having the money to buy what you need. Okay. Yeah, the ginger is really cheap. The Epsom salt's probably like $6 for a huge bag of it. And then the apple cider vinegar you can get at the dollar store. So write that stuff down. Yes. Detox bath. Yes. I would write that down on a piece of paper, just like how Emily put it in the chat. I would write that down, and that's how I would start addressing the smell. Also, make sure that you're keeping your dirty clothes separate from your clean clothes. I know that sounds like simple, but it does make a difference. And then I would purchase a bottle of Florida water. And when you take a bath, add some of that Florida water cologne, because the Florida water cologne, what it does is it creates sacred water, and that will cleanse like supernatural smells off of you. That's one way. You can also add lemon juice. I wouldn't add a whole lot of lemon juice, but you can add lemon juice to your bath water as well. I would probably just do a little bit of that. Okay. Those are some ways to get the smell out, but we'll clear as much energy as we can today. You do keep the laundry separate. And then I would, as soon as you have enough clothes to do a batch of laundry, go ahead and do it. What I do to cleanse my clothing, so that, because like literally spirits can attach to clothes. So what I do is I will put the soap in the washing machine, like liquid detergent. And then I'll take the Florida water cologne and I will sprinkle it into the little detergent thing. And then when it fills with water and everything, it's got Florida water in it. And my clothes always come out smelling really good, and they are high vibrational. And I've actually tested blessing my clothing versus not blessing my clothing, and I can feel a huge difference. Okay, so that's some things that you can do that are in the physical for this. Now, depending on what type of deodorant you use, sometimes our bodies, what they'll do is they'll get used to this certain type of deodorant. Like when I use male deodorant, because the female deodorants, for some reason, my body after like a couple weeks to a month would get used to that smell. Also, I will tell you to get toothpaste that doesn't have fluoride in it. When it comes to spiritual clarity, when I was using the toothpaste that had fluoride in it, I always felt foggy. The moment I stopped using it, boom, it was like crystal clear sharpness. So that's another thing that you can do. And then, for the times that you don't wear deodorant, allow your body to sweat out the toxins. Okay, because that's how we're going to get the stuff off of us. Taking a spiritual bath, blessing the water, and then changing your sheets. I would say doing it probably every 2 weeks to a month is another thing that we can do. And then washing the comforter as well. So making sure that everything, and then going through your house and cleaning, like top to bottom, clean out everything. Because if there's mess inside, there's mess outside. All right, let's see. You never smell good these days. Well, bodies themselves don't smell good. Okay, it's usually something we have to put on our bodies or in our bodies that helps with that. But that's where I would start. You always use cinnamon toothpaste. That's good. Cinnamon mouthwash, because cinnamon is one of the only things that actually kills the germs in the mouth, which is wild, right? I love cinnamon stuff. Another thing that you can do, if you drink coffee in the morning or if you drink tea, depending on what type of tea it is, add a little bit of cinnamon in there. A little bit of cinnamon goes a very long way. All right, so we're going to see what's going on with Irene. Well, it's more going on with you and that situation, if it's something that you should have hope in, or if it's something that we need to leave behind. Now, let me kind of your chakras look really good. So we did work on it yesterday. Page of Cups, dreamer and naive, innocence, inner child, head in the clouds. I don't know. Do you drink alcohol? Because when I look at that cup, this is what I think about, is alcohol. being under the influence, knowing that spirit is well, it is in alcohol, they call it spirits because it can change somebody's spirit. If they're in a sour mood, you know what I mean? The Chariot. Okay. So I feel like one blockage with your guys' relationship is that you don't have a vehicle, because the Chariot just came flying out. Also, if you do drink alcohol, don't drink and drive. Okay, but it feels like she's got a car. She's got a vehicle. I hope that she does not drink and drive. Interesting. So that could be one factor in your guys' relationship. Maybe that's something that she's unhappy with. And you drink rarely. Okay. She doesn't have a vehicle, but she uses somebody's car, is what I'm seeing. So you guys both don't have vehicles. How far away does she live? Is she like 40 miles away or 40 minutes away? Because it feels like, you know, part of the issue of your relationship going anywhere is that you guys don't have any way to get around, which that's the Chariot energy. The Chariot can also represent police, but I'm not picking up on that energy today. So let's see what else comes out. The Five of Swords. There could have been a lot of aggression and disputes, bullying and stress. Also, you can get yourself a detox tea. Now, detox tea usually has like dandelion root in it, or it'll have milk thistle. There's different ways you can detox, but you want to make sure that you're drinking water. And I would only do a detox tea like once a week. Of course, always run everything by your doctor, your actual doctor. So the Five of Swords, aggression and disputes, bullying and stress, conflict and arguments. When you guys were together, were you experiencing a lot of, to me, the Five of Swords is like, usually you're one person or the other is self-centered. That's what I usually think about it. And that's what causes arguments and disputes. So Steve moved. Okay. Because that was the next thing I was going to ask, is if she's still with Steve. I mean, I don't feel like she is with Steve. I don't feel like she's in a relationship right now. But she could still be talking to him. All right, let's see. I get that the compatibility is like 2 out of 10, which is almost as low as it could be. But the compatibility could be for multiple different reasons. Okay. So you love her, but what is it that you're wanting out of the relationship? Are you wanting like marriage and kids? Are you wanting to settle down? Do you know if your wants and desires align with what hers are? You got into an argument over Steve last October and it really hurt her. Yeah. So I would be very careful about the words that you use with her, okay? Because it seems to me like she holds on to that and doesn't let it go. So like, if you were to say something out of anger, she's going to hold on to that and throw that in your face in the future. Lots of people do that, right? In fact, I have been with people who have been very lenient because I can snap and go off sometimes and say, well, when I'm not in my right mind, say shit that's horrible, right? And then I always regret it because, you know, only said it at that time, and that's not actually the way that I feel. So clarifying how you feel. Yes, marriage or common law. Yeah. So you are wanting something long-term with her. Okay. Now, as far as a living situation, it doesn't feel like she wants to leave behind the Six of Swords. It doesn't feel like she wants to move. She's living with her parent. She finds a lot of stability through living with her parent. She also has meals basically provided for her. So I understand how she doesn't want to leave that situation behind. She also wants somebody that her parent approves of. And I'm getting that her dad is just one of those people that it's going to be really hard to please. You know, you have to look at it from his perspective. And sometimes no man, I mean, I am so thankful that my father is so amazing. I have an adoptive father that's so amazing, that's still here with us. Oh, thank you, God. But sometimes when you have a little girl, when you have a daughter, no man that they're with will ever be good enough for your daughter. And so there can be like a resentment or a dislike or distrust there. But I am getting that she still believes that you cheated on her, even though that's not the truth. If that were the case, I would have been shown that a long time ago. But I also don't see that she's dating at this time. So it feels to me like she's at a standstill. Okay, what else? Yeah, looking ahead, wanting to grow, gaining new foresight. If you have access to a body of water, I would go to that body of water. Like whether it's a lake, a stream, and I would literally dunk yourself in that body of water. The ocean. I love the ocean. I am obsessed with the ocean. Every chance that I get, like when I see the ocean, a calm, like this, just, oh, this feeling comes over me. She told you that she wanted to get her own place in 2023. Do you know if she has a job? Because I feel like she may not be working, or if she does, it's not full. It's not enough to afford rent somewhere. And she's blocked you, so she's not wanting communication at this time. I feel like letting bygones, if you guys are going to start anything over, both of you guys have to release the past, and forgiveness is definitely needed in the situation. I do feel like you deserve somebody who is not going to be able to be manipulated by the devil. Let's just say that. The Strength card. So she could be in the mode of getting stronger. I get that you are also getting stronger. Okay. The Knight of Wands. See, this Knight of Wands energy is the Stephen person. Impulsive and immature, hot-tempered, rebellious, and charming. That's his energy. So why is his energy coming out, Spirit, if they're not together? Maybe she's getting stronger because of the relationship that she had with him. But I feel like he's the biggest barrier. What a bad person. Not that I'm judging, but like, holy crap. Death. Yeah, this relationship is doomed with the person that she's with. It's going to always end in trauma and drama with this Steve guy. Interesting. What else does he need to know? Is there any chance for like a reunion in the future? See, the thing is that if you could talk to her and meet up with her and have a conversation with her, I feel like that's the direction we need to go, because you need to find out. She's in hermit mode. You need to find out if she's going to be willing to. She promised you your own place in 2023. Yeah, it feels like he doesn't want to leave you guys alone. So with that being said, I feel like the death card being out here, it's an inevitable ending. That's something that's going to end no matter what. Is she the type of person to go back to an ex? I feel like you have to think about, is it worth it for you to try to convince her that, because in her mind, she's right. In your mind, you're right. And trying to convince her that she got it wrong, she may not be wanting to accept that. Knight of Swords. I definitely wouldn't come at her with any aggressive energy. I do feel like her heart is closed off to people right now. So it does feel like she's been hurt recently. Like what I'm getting, like past 6 months. Yes, I pray the exact same thing. But if she's meant to be with you, if there's somebody else, and I know you haven't put yourself out there, and that's going to be one thing that you work yourself up to doing, is putting yourself back out there. Because you can't just sit around and wait for her to decide whether she's going to believe you or not. I feel like moving forward will free up the energy of resistance so that if she does decide to unblock you, but, you know, going back into old situations with the same attitude is never a good thing. I would make sure that you don't want anyone else. 3 of Cups, celebrations, friendships, reunions. It looks like a reunion is possible. But I would not come at her with any aggressive energy, and I would not be accusatory of her. There's going to be, if you guys are to get back together, there's going to be a healing period and a lot of forgiveness that's needed to be applied to the situation. So if you have a way of sending her a message, maybe you can send her, you know, I feel like when somebody makes something personally, it adds like a magic energy. So like if you have any type of skill, maybe make her something, you know. You want her to look at you like you're a new person, not like you are who she, yeah, High Priestess. See, I know you can see the truth, but will she be able to? It's worth a shot, but the compatibility is low, and I think it's low because you guys both don't have vehicles. That's like literally what I'm getting. And if she's more than a bus ride away, if you could take a bus to her, I mean, the bus ticket's fairly cheap. That would be a way I would, you know, that would be a way that you can start slowly dating her again. Welcome in, Shaman Maria. That would be a way, but she's got to be willing to open up to communication, and I would not argue with her, dispute anything, because that's just going to take it back into the same energy that it was in. Let's get one more. 9 of Wands. You're close to a breakthrough. You're close to a breakthrough. I'm just getting that a decision needs to be made on her part, whether she can forgive and forget, and whether she can see the truth. Look, the thing is that there is no evidence that you cheated on her other than just what somebody else who wanted to sleep with her said. So that to me is not enough. Like if I were in a relationship with somebody, if I were in a relationship with a man and somebody came up to me and said, "Oh, that person's been cheating on you." Okay. Well, obviously I have a High Priestess ability, I would know. But if somebody were to say this person's been cheating on you, I would not break up with that person until I had solid proof evidence, real evidence. I would not just take someone, because I know people can be manipulative. When somebody wants your girl or your man, they'll come around saying that stupid stuff. So yeah, 4 of Swords, taking a break. I feel like you need to recover your energy from all of the curses that we cleared last night. I feel like you recovering your energy is an important part of the process, and it'll make a difference. The Fool, because you want to be able to start the relationship with her on moving in a new direction, on a new level. Like the Fool it can talk about being unaware, but it also talks about, you know, a brand new beginning, which is why it's the Fool is the 0 card. It's like when you're starting your journey at the very first. So there is possibility for adventure, but I feel like quite a few things need to come to a resolution, and she's got to make up her mind whether she really, really believes, you know. She's got something with her right now, and I feel like it has to do with Steve's energy. Ugh. So, I mean, I can clear it, but I don't know what was done to attach it to her. Feels like somebody did this on purpose. So did you know that Steve was like a warlock when you met him? She's paid her phone bill. Okay. Yeah, it wasn't heated. She just wouldn't believe you. Well, that still is, you know, You can't accuse someone of something and have literal no evidence of it and then expect that to be, that's like, think of it this way. That's like somebody taking another person to court and saying like, oh, I saw them on this date and time doing this, and there's literally no evidence of that. The court's going to throw it out. So thinking of it from that perspective, hold on one second. Let me write this person's name down because they came in yesterday and said the same thing. And now I'm going to report them to the YouTube system, which I haven't been doing that because it takes too much of my time. But yeah. Okay, now let me get rid of this person. Keeps calling me trans. Anyways, people do not know me. I do not have an Adam's apple. And I'm not going to continually argue about that shit every single day. Okay? And it's not Pride Month anymore. We're in July now. People need to shut up with that dumb shit because they're just trying to provoke me. And if they want to provoke me, I will accuse them and report them to God, which is what my real job is. Wow. Whatever Steve told her, he started having women over after she came to visit you at his house. Interesting. Yeah, well, he really can't be trusted. So remember, start working on the hygiene thing, taking spiritual baths, pray Psalm 91. Psalm 91 is a very good psalm that protects against just about everything that you can think of. I feel like it just covers like everything that you could, that to the point where it even covers nature, like stepping on serpents and lions. I would start reciting Psalm 91. Yes, I feel like he went gaga over her as well. Yeah. But, I feel like that you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. So as far as her believing you, you guys have to sit down and have a real life conversation. And if she's going to insist that and have no evidence or proof, but insist that you've done something that you haven't done, that's a sign from the universe maybe to let go. So I would just think about that. And also, if you haven't been with anyone since her, that could be the reason that you still feel attached to her. I bet that if you detach from her, things will get easier. Much easier, actually. All right. That's so annoying when I hide people on the channel that they can come back the next day. In the past, what I was doing was writing their username down, then going to their channel after the reading and having to report them separately. But like, that takes extra time. I'm already donating my time and energy. I don't want to have to do that, right? But if people keep coming back and trying to provoke me, then I have no problem doing that. You have proof, but she won't read your screenshots because she's so hurt. Well, if you know where she's staying, maybe sending flowers, maybe going to visit her. I mean, I would always want somebody to let me know before they head over. But if she's blocked you, that's one thing. If she hasn't blocked you, you can always send her a card in the mail or send her, if you know where she stays at, send her, something romantic. I know women do love that, like getting things romantically, to show her that you still care about her. But I feel like it's going to take a in-person, real-life conversation that to happen between you guys. And they don't let you have any money. She would be pissed if you came because of her dad. Well, I feel like you guys need to have a real in-person conversation. But yeah, if there's a way you can communicate with her through technology, you bought her Valentine's Day stuff, but it's all still there with you. Okay. Yeah, I really feel like you guys need to talk in person. So maybe you could ask her if she wants to go get some tacos or a coffee or, you know, that type of thing. If she hasn't blocked you on like all social media, you still have the opportunity to speak with her. And, you know, you can tell her, if you don't want to be with me, that's fine, but can we at least be friends? I know that's a move that will at least put you into her life so you guys can be friended. Because when love falls apart, if friendship is not there at the basis of the relationship, then the relationship won't go anywhere. Her phone's disconnected and she's never on Facebook. Do you know what her address is? I would write her a letter about how you feel. And yeah, I would definitely write her a letter. Just pour your heart out and don't have anything accusatory of, oh, you didn't believe me. Like literally, I would say what you have to say, but say it in a way that it doesn't sound like you're trying to throw her under the bus. Okay, yeah, write her a letter and then do all the stuff with hygiene. I would go through your entire apartment/condo literally and clean everything. Okay, clean everything. Because some of the smell I get, it's coming from what's going on within you, and it's coming from what's on the outside of you as well. And making sure that when you throw stuff away, if you have anything that's got black magic on it that you can tell, don't throw it in your trash can that's in the house. When people would come into the metaphysical store and they would have curses, they would have all sorts of things going on. I mean, I made a wall of candles. Okay, like we had walls. I had a whole wall of candles of different things that could be done for each situation. And the people would come back and be like telling me the craziest stories about these candles. One of them would burn, it would take an hour to burn. The next one would take 7 hours. It just depends how much money that the candle had to work through. And then they would come back into the store and we would recheck their energy. So looking at it that way, you know, lighting a candle, praying. Candles are fairly cheap, but lighting a candle and praying for her heart, because she's hardened her heart towards you. You have cleaned everything. Yeah. Yeah, I would clean it again. I would go through and pull everything out and clean it again. And specifically, if you've got anything that has black magic on it, or that you even feel anything that doesn't make you feel good, I would get rid of. And remember, do the foot bath. It's steaming hot water, a bucket. Oh, and by the way, when you're done with the foot bath, I would not take that water and put it down your dish sink, the one that you do dishes with. I would take it straight to the toilet, okay? And pour it down the toilet and then clean the toilet. So, because the water, well, it'll start looking, at the beginning of the foot bath, it looks clean and clear, right? Once you put your feet in and it opens the lymph nodes on the bottom of your feet, and remember, it's 1 cup, it's steaming hot water, not to burn yourself, but to steam, okay? And then you add 1 cup apple cider vinegar, 1 cup of Epsom salt, and score some ginger and put it in there. Wait maybe 5 minutes, mix it all up, then stick your feet in. And I would literally keep doing that. You're going to notice a difference in the decrease of the smell and all of that. So I would do that. Shoot, I would do it once a day for a while. I mean, you can get literally a piece of ginger from the grocery store for very, very cheap. And if you can't go to the grocery store and get a real piece of ginger, you can get ginger tea. and brew tea and then pour that. It's just the combination of the Epsom salt, the apple cider vinegar, and the ginger that does that. And start praying Psalm 91, because I feel like whatever prayers you're using, you're focusing on negative. When Psalm 91, the way it's structured, basically covers every type of pestilence, annoyance. If you're having ants, like an overabundance of ants, an overabundance of any type of like cockroach, insect, that to me screams like black. And it just depends where you live at. But to me, I'm always like there was a time when, before we had the bug people show up, where these stupid little gnats, because I live very close to water, these stupid little gnats were everywhere on everything. And this actual fly got in the house the other day, and it was tormenting me, you guys. I know that sounds ridiculous, but this thing was flying around so fast, and I was in the middle of preparing food, which is my biggest pet peeve, because if an insect lands on my food, I'm not eating it. And so I was like, I commanded that thing. I was like, you need to die. You need to literally die. Since I can't couldn't swat it out of the air, and I wasn't going to waste all my time when I was trying to cook swatting that thing out of the air. I told it, you need to die, and I never saw it again after that. So it's probably dead somewhere in the house. But yeah, cancel and rebuke the monitoring spirit energy. You know what? I'm not really getting that Steve and Irene are talking like they used to. So that could be a good thing. That could open up the opportunity for you to have a conversation with her. But if she doesn't want to meet with you, I think that you should move on. And if she changes her mind in the future, that would be great. But at this point, where you guys both don't have a vehicle, it would be hard to have a relationship. You could at least have a friendship, though. So if she denies having a relationship, then, say, I still would love to be your friend. And remember that sometimes we can't have everything that we ask for at that time we ask for it. Sometimes things need to develop over time. And by you being there for her as a friend and not expecting anything else out of her, letting her vent to you, talking with her, that type of thing, that'll show her that you're a changed person. Not that you need to change, but your attitude about love and the situation needs to change to draw in a new situation. Yeah, and what I'm getting is that she doesn't want to leave home because she has, like I said, well, first of all, she's got adult children that she has in her life, right? She's also got a roof over her head and her bills paid and all of that. So, and she could be, I don't know the situation with the father, but she feels safe and secure there. So I wouldn't push moving in, even though that's what you guys were going to do. I wouldn't push moving in at this point. I would just work on, while you work on getting a place for you guys to live and getting that situation worked out, I would work on communicating with her as a friend, writing her a letter if there's no other way you can get through to her. Yes. Okay. She doesn't talk to her daughters and she hasn't paid her phone bill that you know of. Okay. Interesting. I wonder if she got a new phone. Okay. So we're going to go back to the collective reading. I get that there's something good coming in for you guys. So let's see. We're looking at it before. Two of Pentacles. This could be a message. This could absolutely be a message. You see the ships that are out to sail right here on this water. This could be something positive coming in. I feel like when we open ourselves to the possibility of receiving good news, receiving divine messages, that's what starts to happen. Sometimes it can be something as simple as us feeling like nothing good will come in, that blocks us. It's all about our belief system. So I'm getting that there could be a document that arrives that changes everything. This document could be somebody's like will and testament. Usually, I think when that happens, you'll get a court summons, or you'll get a summons to go to a meeting and talk with people about it. You may get a letter in the mail. You may get something in your email. But this is a really good time for you guys to begin new projects. Two of Swords. Also working on feng shuiing your home so that it's got good vibrational energy. So the Two of Swords talks about a blockage. Maybe this is a message that a blockage that was in the way is about to be removed. I like that. I just feel like as this blockage is removed, don't put up new blockages by thinking the same thoughts. Sometimes when we hold on to trying to control everything, which is a human nature, by the way, I don't judge anyone for that because that is a human nature thing. Like, we obviously want to feel like we're in control because that's more empowering than not feeling in control. But I also get that, okay, there could be something going on with eyesight. Not that somebody's losing their eyesight, but somebody's trying to cloud someone's eyesight so that you don't see something. Can I get clarity on that? Queen of Swords. This is somebody that you guys cut off. I feel like you guys are going to see through whatever this is very easily. Do you want to know why? Because you guys have been the people who have, you know what? I got this fortune cookie, what was it, yesterday? And it said root for the underdog. You guys have been the underdog in many situations. Now you're about to be the top dog, and your life is going to take a completely different turn. So you want to make sure that you're prepared for it. And you also want to make sure that you are opening up to the universe to allow things to come in and to flow naturally. Sometimes we put up so many blockages in the way of a thought form of thinking, I can't do this, or this will never happen, or this person is this. When we assume, when we make assumptions, we basically, it's like taking, okay, an assumption is like this. It's like you have a perfectly drawn out picture on your canvas that you're going to paint. And then you just take black paint and you just go over the picture. So it covers it up. That's what an assumption does. It covers up what's actually there. So we want to make sure that we're not just making assumptions based upon, you know, like how we feel, that we have confirmations on it, so that it's actually being based upon facts, not just assumptions. I also get that somebody is going to be very upset when they figure out that you have removed a blockage that they put up. Five of Wands, perhaps somebody that was competing with you, or somebody that looks at you like your competition. Now, when it comes to you actually being their competition, that's their opinion. I don't get that you actually are their competition. First of all, have you ever heard the saying, you can't compete where you don't compare? You can't be compared to other people because you're completely your own person. Give me 1 second, you guys. Let me just fix my chakras. There we go. Already something just got much clearer. Okay. Yes, good. I'm glad that you guys are releasing control. And not having expectations is very powerful because it allows you to open up to what could possibly be in a good way. And let me just get rid of this person, because advising other people to cheat is not, that is not, okay, you shouldn't be saying things like that, okay? Should not be telling people to go cheat on their spouses or cheat someone out of money or cheat on whatever the hell you're talking about. No. Cheaters never prosper. Have you ever heard that? It's like, you're not going to prosper bullying us. Why would God reward you for being a bully? You're being demonic. And I've told you this many times to leave us alone, demon. Because I'm definitely sending your ass back to hell. Anyways, no, don't listen to the advice of other people, especially like that one that was in the chat telling people to go cheat and go get some, what? Cheat and go get some money? Or what are they talking about? No, cheating is not, that doesn't bring about good karma. Like seriously, whether it's a minor thing or a big thing. My goodness. So anyways, people. But I must be doing something right if I get this much amount of hate for literally not doing anything but helping people with their problems. Death. The D word. One of the D words, right? That I don't like saying. It's not that I'm afraid of it. Look, this is the end to some competition with some people that are clearly mentally deranged and blocked. They're blocked out of your energy. I feel like this person, it's kind of what I'm being shown is like a NASCAR race, like, or even a horse race. Everybody starts off at the same point. Everybody ends at the same point because those are designated starting and ending points. But what happens in between is up to the people that are actually doing the race, right? So this person is trying to race you to the finish line, but they don't know of what. Like literally, they don't realize that there is no really race going on here. But race this person for what? They're not more competent than you. If this is somebody wanting to compete for a job, it's not their job to police the world. Like literally, I want people to understand, if they want to police the world and derail people off of their purpose and try to cheat people and screw them over, first of all, if you want to police the world, go to police school and become a police officer, okay? That is my best advice for that. But these people feel like if they're not in control, then it better not be you that's in control, but they're not living your life. So they don't have control over you. And as long as you cut out people that are no longer good for you and just, extract them from your life. Wow. You didn't willingly involve yourself? Not a crooked one, exactly. Okay, I did just receive that super chat, so it is going through. Yeah, and I get that feeling of, somebody not wanting you to get help, but help is readily available. All right, let's see what the Spirit Oracle says when it comes to that help, because I feel like, going within, focusing on your own connection and raising your vibration is going to be the most powerful thing. Getting the truth of God will be the answer long term, because then you can start clearing the curse energy like I've cleared it. So let's see. And also pray on it. Sometimes when this is something that I've done before when I want to know the answer to something that's like a complex situation, like the one that you have with Irene. Before you go to bed, write down, well, there are things called a dream box. They're a Native American traditional thing. But you can literally state out loud what it is you're needing the answer to before you go to sleep. When you go to sleep, pay attention to your dreams, because it may just be given to you in a dream. Oh, if your message, they wouldn't let you send it. Okay. Yeah, I have upped the protection on the AI system that they have on YouTube because the things that people have been saying to me, but it's only looking for certain you don't remember any dreams. Okay, that would be something concerning. A lot of people have that situation going on, but it's a form of blockage. It says, have more faith in yourself. Be proud of how you are navigating every curveball that life throws at you. Literally, Kiwi Kid, I'm very proud of you. You're at least looking for answers and working on yourself. How you deal with those times shows your true inner resilience. Nothing can break that. That in itself is an inspiration for others. Keep shining your light. Keep shining your light. And while you wait for this situation to resolve itself, there's no need for you to keep torturing yourself. Okay? Like, I would get out, go for walks, do things that get your circulation moving. It says, don't lose sight of this truth. We came here to evolve and grow. So it's necessary to experience the difficult times. That is when we will grow the most. This is very true. And that's when also that you become who you're meant to be. There's always a light at the end of the tunnel. Be proud of your journey. There definitely is a light at the end of the tunnel. The fact that you haven't been taken out with the witchcraft, I feel like is a miracle. And we are so thankful, God. We're so thankful for that. I'm also getting that try not to look at things as so doom and gloom. Never allow yourself to be taken for granted. I feel like that was part of the relationship problem. Now, I'm not really getting that Irene wants to take on the responsibility of living away from home. That's what I'm getting. It says it's better to remove yourself from that situation than to be treated less than you deserve. You are precious and you are worthy. Working on your self-worth, because you definitely are worthy. Okay, I want to know what is keeping the compatibility low. Is it the lie that she's believing? I get that it is. So if there was a way to get rid of that lie that she believed, it says learn to ride the waves of life. When faced with difficult times, you can either fight against the current or go with it. So ask yourself, what is to be gained by depleting your energy fighting against it? Don't do that to yourself. Okay, I just did see something. I saw a love spell. So let me see. This is a love spell that she's under. I'm going to break this spell and let me just see if anything changes. Give me 1 second. Okay, I wouldn't call it a spell. It's a charm. What's the definition of a charm? A love charm. What is the definition of a love charm? A magical object, potion, or talisman. Specifically believed to attract affection, provoke romantic feelings, or deepen a bond with a person. Okay. So let me just ask, I don't get that it's a potion. I get that it's actually something that she has. Okay, so let me clear the energy of this charm. I think that Steve gave her a piece of jewelry. Let me clear the energy of this charm and see if anything changes. I am like hearing an owl in the background and it's daytime. Like, that's weird to me. If your mindset is fixed, which it feels like it does, try to free yourself from that. Rise above it. Don't place limitations. Okay, so I feel a huge weight being lifted when it comes to getting rid of that love charm. So now that we know she's been under the influence of witchcraft, that makes a lot more sense as to why she believed, why she would just take somebody's word if they had given her something that had magic on it. Says, don't place limitations on what you think you can achieve. Don't stand in your own way. That's what I feel like you're doing with thinking that it has to be a certain way. You never know. She may not get mad if you show up there. Like literally, you never know until you try. But if you don't try, you're going to be stuck in this limbo that you've been in, wanting more and not feeling like you could achieve that. Allow yourself to flourish in all ways. Welcome abundance in all forms of your life. Like I do get that all of this stuff is happening for a bigger purpose for you, Kiwi kids. So it's not like any of this has been in vain. I mean, how many things of magic have you encountered in your life? You need to write a book about that. Like there are so many people that don't survive one spell. All of these spells that you've survived, it's like, it's crazy in a good way. Whatever you have been putting off, don't procrastinate any longer. Tackle that long overdue project. You will feel better once you begin. Start with one thing at a time. Thoughts and ideas not acted upon are just laying in wait. So whether it's a letter that you send, you know, or if it is you sending that Valentine's Day stuff, I think she needs to be reminded that you care about her. Because in her mind, she thinks that, well, I think that Steve has lied to her. But yeah, in her mind, she thinks that you don't care about her, which is not actually true. That's so far from the truth. All you do is think about her, which let me look and see if there's another love spell going on there. When there are questions you need assistance with, go inward, sit with yourself, meditate on the question, ask for our help also, aka the spiritual realm. Absolutely. Asking for confirmation is something that we should be doing. And I feel like when you ask, you will receive. Then trust your intuition, as most often the answer and guidance will be delivered to you intuitively. So you may pick up on her thought process. We are with you always. Know that your spirit guides are with you. So also, Archangel Chamuel, Chamuel, and Archangel Raphael, Raphael. Both of those angels work on love life relationships and the heart chakra and romance, just on two different levels. Chamuel is more of like the energy of hope, bringing in, Raphael will help bring in the right person at the right time. Chamuel will bring in that deep, 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 deep love that you have between you and another person. And they'll bring the right person in. So I would be asking for confirmation, like, is Irene the right person for me? You know, I'm not getting that it's a permanent no, but it's definitely a no for right now, because your frequency hasn't changed. Once your frequency changes, it's not, even though, yes, there's been witchcraft at play, it's not the other people that are creating your frequency. It's you that's creating your frequency. So once you shift that, and you can do that by cleansing, praying, meditating, doing an art project. You want to just make your focus be on things that are positive for as long as you can. You are feeling somewhat confused by the events that are unfolding around you. Yes, I definitely understand that, because it can be confusing. It's only because there's been so much magic in the way. You and the various seemingly contradictory information that's coming your way. So like, just because it's not right now doesn't mean that it can't be in the future. And maybe you have to go through an evolution and she has to go through one as well for you guys to come back together. Trust your instincts and do what they are telling you to do, and you will learn a lot about yourself and the direction that you want to take in your life. Also, you want to communicate with her. Maybe you guys can be pen pals or start writing, or taking a bus to her. I don't think that her dad's going to shoot you on sight or anything like that. But I do get that, if she thinks that you've done something, apologize, but still speak your truth. And I would stay out of like arguing or accusing energy. I would stay out of focusing on Steve and focus just on the relationship that you have with her. because there's got to be some type of movement. But I also get that you need to release the fear of rejection, the fear of not being loved, and the fear of being treated unfairly or somebody just randomly dropping you. Because all of those fears, you don't want to go into a new relationship with having that unanswered stuff like still going, right? Because with each relationship that we're in, we learn and we grow. And then that stuff that we gain, that important intel and wisdom and stuff, that's what upgrades us and evolves us into who we're meant to be. And if you feel like you can't live your life without her, she needs to know that. But you want to do it at the right time, in the right way, you know? And then making sure that her values are the same as yours, that you guys have the same goals. If she doesn't want marriage and you do, then there's no point having a relationship. Resilience is one of the strongest qualities that you have, being resilient through all of this. It has gotten you through so many trials and tribulations in the past, and I would not be blaming her because we know that witchcraft was involved. So I feel like a lot of the situation has to do with blame, and that's just not going to get any relationship going in the right direction. So yeah, so many different trials and tribulations, and it will continue to do so. Lean on that inner tower of strength anytime that you need to. You've got this. Yeah, you're going to get past these obstacles. Where you are right now is where you're supposed to be. And I feel like once you raise your frequency and you eliminate these fears and these belief systems that you have that's keeping the situation the way it is, I do feel like it's going to shift. Get the truth of God, because that's how you're going to do that. Making the shift by you clearing, you got to clear the thoughts and beliefs that are blocking you, and then not come into agreement with them. When I have to like pause the reading, write somebody's name down, I am literally using the mind technique from the truth of God, clearing whatever thought or belief that brought in that person that tried to humiliate me or whatever their issue is. And I know that everything is stemming from me. Even though people come on here and they bully the shit out of me, I still know that I'm drawing that situation in. So I have no problem taking accountability, but I also don't tolerate disrespect either. Okay, I will remove them from the chat. And then, of course, I report them to God and the Holy Spirit. And the reason that they come up is because it's a test. It's like, are you going to freak out like you did yesterday? You know, you guys saw me got heated. That's what you guys saw yesterday was like literally nothing compared to when I get really upset. So that's why I have to work very, very hard on staying calm. And I have episodes. I'm not a perfect person. So I wouldn't be looking at yourself like you have to be the perfect person. Know that as long as you take each day as it comes and for what it is and work on being a better person, that you're going to become the person that she wants to be with. But it may not, you know, if there's no growth on her end, if she's still in the same exact energy, which it feels like she is, well, I'm getting that she's got her walls up right now. So that's why I was saying right now may not be the right time. But you working on yourself, evolving yourself, turning yourself into somebody that, think about it this way. Are you somebody that you would want to be with if you were the opposite sex, right? Growth isn't easy, but you've got this. You've got this. I'm very confident. All the stuff I'm confident in you because I've seen what you've been through. Okay? When you're going through it yourself, sometimes we can lose sight on what we've actually survived and made it through. All right, let's see. Yeah, and not staying, and you never blamed her, good, and not staying in the past, because the past equals pain, and there's nothing we can do about the past. The past has already passed. The past has already passed. The past has already gone by. There's really nothing we can do about the past. We can just, if we stay centered and focused in the now, literally, we will create a new reality. But if we hold on to the past and cling to it and clutch onto it and drag it around with us, we're just carrying baggage through our life that doesn't doesn't need to be held onto. It says whenever you talk to us, be talking to spirit. You could probably type in general prayer to Archangel Chamuel for love life. I would do that. And I would start communicating with the angels, because the angels are here to assist us. They are literally servants of God. They are here to help mankind grow closer to the divine. So it says that this is our confirmation that we are assisting you, guiding you, and ensuring your wishes. Ensuring your wishes finally come true to fruition. Be patient. Everything will come together for you. And if you end up finding out that Irene is not the one, then that's okay too. But doing some self introspection, not blaming yourself, but just looking at where you could grow, where you could be a better person, how you can give back to the community. And that's not monetary wise. That could be literally you involving yourself in something that includes other people, like for a short amount of time, you know, donating a little bit of time. That's what I'm getting, is that you've been in hermit mode by yourself, dealing with all of this. Or do you live near your family, Kiwi Kid? You are so much closer to a powerful breakthrough than you may realize. You've been stuck in a rut because you've been focusing on everything on the outside of you. Once you turn that focus and go within, things are going to start to shift, but you will be called to release things that no longer serve you. It says you've been praying for things to heal, new opportunities to appear, relationships to improve, and these prayers will be answered soon. So yes, I would specifically start working with the archangels, Raphael and Chamuel, and Michael. I mean, Michael is a great angel to work with when you need protection or you need to remove someone out of your energy. And they're basically energies that can be present. What I love about angels so much, one of the many things, is that they can be present with me and fairies, and they can be present with you at the same time. Like their higher dimensional nature allows them to be everywhere all at once, okay? And so I remember a long time ago when I was reading King Solomon's work, because I am obsessed with the life of King Solomon. I think that his life is so interesting. Well, his life was so interesting when he was alive. But yeah, when I was reading about it, there was like a thing to summon Archangel Raphael, and I did it and it worked, but it was unnecessary. It's like you can literally pray to the angels and know that they are hearing you. The divine, the positive, respects free will. So if we don't give them the permission to intervene on our behalf, then I mean, we can't expect them to intervene on our behalf when they're not going to violate free will, because they want to see if we can figure it out. If you think you are alone, you are not. This is exactly what we're talking about. We are with you. Yes, we are with you. Trust that outside sources will always be working with you to ensure the best outcome of every situation. We have your best interests at heart. We love you. Let's get one more. And yes, the divine does have your best interests at heart. I know that what you've been going through is painful and not fun, but everybody has got their different challenges. No matter what their life looks like on the outside or them as a person, everybody has difficulties. And so, you know, you're going to be able to you would not send you here to have difficulties that you couldn't get past. It says, don't allow negative emotions to fester. That's one thing. When I get upset, my brain goes into like this weird mode. I don't know if yours does this as well, Kiwi Kid, but where I replay the incident over like a psychopath, like over and over again. And then it's like a loop. And then if I can't solve the issue right away, I just scream and scream and scream for hours and hours and hours and cry my eyes out and stuck in this crazy loop until I can catch myself and be like, look, I know that this situation is not resolved, like it's not able to be resolved right at this moment, or I may not know the answer, but I just have faith that it's going to get better. Also, the channel Esther Hicks is also a really good channel. She's got a bunch of free videos that teach you about the law of attraction, how to get into your vortex, and how to start attracting the things in your life that you want. So instead of fighting your feelings, like fighting them back, sometimes if you sit with the feeling, that allows you to gain a bigger perspective on it. When we don't hold space for our own emotions and for our own emotional self, then it kind of keeps us in the space between fight and flight, like where we just don't know what to do. But when you can start to hold space for your emotions, and that means that you're not trying to change the emotion, you're not trying to fix it, you're just holding space for it, saying that and believing that you are not your emotions. Your emotions are just something that you experience while you are a human, and possibly if you've been an animal, which everybody's been animals before, but that's what spirit animals are. It says, go with the feeling and work with it. Then true healing can really begin. So not getting stuck. Let's get one more card. What was that? Not getting stuck in old ways of thinking and thinking that you're powerless, because you're not. When you get the truth of God, I would write down every single storyline that you have been telling yourself and then manually go through and clear that, so that you can, and then I would be using affirmations to affirm what you do want. If you're noticing changes within you, yes, yes, yes. Oh my gosh, that's what we want. It's because you're leaving the old version of yourself behind. You are elevating and shedding unnecessary layers. Old cycles are ending and new beginnings are on the horizon. You deserve this new chapter. I do feel like you deserve a new experience. So keep working on the spiritual cleansing. Remember, you guys, I've had access to the truth of God for 10 years, but the entire 10 years I've gone through different, like I keep evolving basically because of the techniques in the book. And at the beginning, I was having to sage every single day. But I also had stupid people that were doing witchcraft on me in my life at that time. But I was having to sage every single day. And I was like literally having to just finding stuff in the yard, just really horrible experiences. I don't want to go into it because it would scare everybody. But yeah, now I don't have to burn sage like that. I make the shifts within me and the external shifts. So yeah, if you guys are having signs like where you, like, let's say you have flowers that anytime that a plant is unalived, okay, that is a sign that there's some energy going on, especially if you've done everything to take care of the plant. And sometimes we just make rookie mistakes, like sometimes inside plants take a little bit more than outside plants. And so and sometimes if we don't, I've had to learn different things, but there are certain signs in life. Like if you were to bring in fresh fruit into your house and then all of a sudden your food is spoiling, kind of like a horror movie, that would be a sign to look and see what's going on within you and what's going on the outside of you that's causing that situation, that's drawing it to you. But yeah. Yeah, I would definitely look at things like that. If you have bug or rat infestations, that's like a form of pestilence. It's also a form of monitoring spirit. Like I was saying, how that fly came in the house. And oh, I was so pissed because I saw it fly in the house. Like I had opened the door briefly for an important reason. And then I saw it fly in, and it was a huge sucker, man. It was a big fly. And then it was like literally pestering me while I'm trying to chop vegetables and stuff. And I just had to be like, okay, I command this thing to die, because there was no way it was too fast. I don't know. It was like one of the fastest flies I've ever seen. It was almost impossible to kill right then and there. So I put the food away and I went, okay. So basically, I would interpret that as a sign of a monitoring spirit trying to get into the house, because it was just literally trying to monitor me cook vegetable. I mean, like literally that type of stuff. I'm just like, what is the point of all this witchcraft pestilent bullshit? Like, what is the point of it? Also, knowing the signs of the evil eye, and not to make anyone afraid, but it may benefit you guys, especially if you're experiencing bad smells, hygiene issues, regular attacks. panic attacks, it may help you to get one of these things. They're called like evil eye amulet. I think that they're called Turkish blue evil eye. If you just type that in, it'll bring up a bunch of different things. But having one of those, you know, having some selenite. Selenite comes in many different forms. But this crystal clears the negative energy in all other crystals. It never has to be charged, never has to be cleared, never has to be cleansed. You can take a little piece of selenite and put it in the bathtub. Over time, it will disintegrate, but it will clear the salts that you're using, and it will also clear the negative energy out of the bath. So that's another thing that you guys can do. Rose quartz is a really good one to bathe with because it softens the skin. But I will tell you that this crystal right here, selenite, clears and recharges crystals better than the sun. You don't want to put your crystals out in the sun, especially if they've got color, because the sun will bleach them and also heat them up and possibly crack them. Okay, so we're going to get a couple more cards before we go. You just felt a calmness when you saw that eye. Good. Oh my gosh, that could be a sign that getting that crystal also, or it's not a crystal, but getting one of these will really help. Also, golden hematite. This is called gold hematite. This is one of the best ones that gets rid of the evil eye. And the evil eye can cause, because it's when somebody sends you a nasty frequency. Usually they're envious or they're jealous or they're hateful or they have a demon with them or whatever. But the evil eye can cause everything from nausea. And again, I'm not a doctor. Make sure you go to the doctor, because why it's so important when you have symptoms to go to the doctor, so that you can make sure that it's not something that's just like a physical thing. And then if you can pinpoint that, okay, I had a migraine, I went to the doctor, I had a stomach ache, I went to the doctor and they didn't find anything, all these pains and all of that, then you'll be able to determine if it's the evil eye. That foot soak that I mentioned a couple times, that will pull out the energies of the evil eye. So once you know you've been targeted by it, I would just take certain actions to clear it away, to get rid of it. And the more that you raise your vibration, the less of that yuck energy that's being sent to you that you'll absorb. And know that you have the power to call your energy and your power back to you at any given moment. Nobody has power over your energy like you have power over your energy, with the exception of the Most High. 10 of Pentacles. So it could be something related to your home as well. I get that this is a blessing. Having a 10 of Pentacles is like having a home, having a community, having neighbors, having a group of people that supports you, even if it's not like outwardly supporting you, that they, at least if they don't hate you, I think that that's a good thing, right? So yeah, having influence and important, or affluence. What does affluence mean? Affluence. The state of having a great deal of wealth, material possessions, or high standard of living. I like it. I had no idea that's what that word meant this entire time. Okay. I thought it had to do with what influence means. Material success, security achieved through through conventional wealth building methods. It's talking about investing in the stock market, investing in a property. I feel like this is a great time for you guys to be investing in, you know, things that can give you long-term returns, not quick returns. Well, I mean, you could have both. You could have something that gives you long-term and quick returns. Seek a permanent job that will help you serve your ultimate career goals. So there could be multiple, you guys could have your feet dipped in a couple different things. Like you guys could be writing a book and working a job. You could be starting a new business and working a job. You'll get to the point where you can invest putting both of your feet and jumping into one lane. When you do that, you'll see a lot of movement. Even if it takes a minute to get something moving, the fact that you're working on it is an important thing. The sun. See, this shows me that you guys are light workers, which means that your work never goes in vain. And I'm hearing a lot of people telepathically object to this light work that you do. Don't listen to them. Okay, let me look again. They're censoring you. Okay. Let's see. They're not letting me read the messages. Okay, let me go back some more. Your family has nothing to do with you. That's a bummer. And you never blamed her. Okay. So just to let you guys know, if you have personal questions, to send a $20 super chat with your question. Okay. And being appreciative, I love that. Oh, Irene is kept from remembering her dreams. Okay. Yeah, but when I was telling you to ask for confirmation in your dreams, not her dreams. We don't play around with other people's dreams. Steve is kept from remembering. Okay. That could be true. Okay. Okay. So let's see, Kiwi Kid. We're going to use the Rider-Waite Tarot. Let's see if any more advice. Well, what the rest of the advice is. So I'm looking at your chakras, and it feels like the solar plexus chakra is the one that's out. So this could be not believing in the self or not feeling self-confident. Yeah, it's not like you're trying to send Irene a dream. It's that you're asking for confirmation on what you have questions. Yeah, Irene doesn't remember her dreams. Yeah, but we're not when you ask for confirmation about the situation, it's not about her dreams, it's about yours. Because if you get a message in the dream state, come tell me and I'll decode it for you. If you don't know what it means. But yeah. Also be writing them down. But the changes that happen within, well, first of all, I would order the truth of God and start using the God technique. That will clear up 99% of what's going on. But also, make sure, look, if there's no peace in the situation, peace should be what we focus upon. All right, I'm going to cut the deck and then we're going to see. See how it comes out now. The moon, damn. Okay, so the moon to me always is like magic. It's like moon magic. So let's see. Fear and anxiety, paranoia, secret enemies. Okay, let me ask a question here. What is the moon about? Who is the moon's energy? I don't get that you're doing moon magic. Paranoia, but don't be paranoid either. She may not, like, I know that you think that she probably hates you, but, you know, give it a little bit of time for her heart to become unhardened. Because once somebody hardens their heart, it, like, makes it almost impossible to get through to them. Okay, what strength? The moon and strength. So somebody is trying to use the moon to become stronger, possibly so that they can have control over your security. Well, that's not good. Okay. What do we need to know about the moon and the strength? Okay. Remember that being compassionate, being forgiving, because truly she did make a mistake. Okay. Whether she's going to acknowledge that or not right now, I feel like you forgiving her because of the adversity. See, a lot of this adversity that you've endured is coming from, you know, situations that are being manipulated, right? Maintain control of the situation by reacting calmly. Don't get angry. Yeah, there's no point to hold on to anger. If you offer her pure love emotionally, like vibrationally, I feel like that's going to be the thing that gets through. Have patience with others' weaknesses, but don't allow them to become your own. Look for support from a strong woman. Also, Kiwi Kid, if you were to start feeling everything was fine last March, so let's see, March. So it's been over a year. It's been over a year. And how did you attract Steven? Wasn't he like your landlord or something? I think I remember you saying that one time. Because it's people like Steve and people like that high priest that you gave money to. It's those types of people that are the biggest problems. I mean, what we've done, well, yeah, what we did last night got rid of the situation with the high priest. But Steve, like, how are you attracting this many warlocks? It's got to be because you're chosen for something. That's like, and honestly, this moon magic was supposed to take you out. Like, their intention was to KILL, and no, like, no, you're protected. The tower. Sometimes things have to fall apart for them to get moving in the right direction. So definitely when it comes to the moon, whoever was doing this to you abused their power. Now the moon is on a cycle. It goes from being, if we take it from being full, well, let's start with new. It goes from new to waxing. When the moon is waxing, it's an increase of energy. Okay? Then the moon becomes full. When it's full, that's like it's at its max capacity. And then whatever zodiac sign it's in, it usually will carry the energies of that zodiac sign and into its max capacity. And then the waning, when it goes into waning, that's when things start to get small again, or it's taking away the energy. So if you can align your spiritual baths, your prayers with that, working with increase, I'm getting that this tower energy is falling on somebody, and it's not falling on you. It's definitely falling on whoever was doing this moon magic. So let's see if we can expose them, because they're experiencing overall chaos, crisis, and misery all of a sudden. Trouble only end if they get rid of doing this moon magic. I tell you that these people are experiencing bad luck. They could be very resentful towards you because they feel like you're not. But this is why we just don't play with people like that. Okay. Two of Swords. Because this moon magic is literally blocking this person. It's not blocking you anymore. So, do you have any affirmations that you use? You rented from Steve. Yeah, everything was fine in March this year. Oh, this year, this recent March, not like the one before this one. So that's not that long of a separation. Okay, what does he need to know? Because this moon magic crap coming out, I mean, are you serious with this? God, Spirit, seriously? After everything that we've worked on, there's still this? I get yes. Okay, I guess life is like an onion, right? We're peeling back the layers, but damn. Okay, this is backfiring on somebody, the devil. So basically, the devil is being blocked. Okay, we cancel any soul ties, contracts, coercion, because I know the devil doesn't play fair. Any type of low vibrational demonic energy, no, we don't come into alignment with that. We cancel and rebuke it. And anything that was going on with that, with the moon magic, we cancel and rebuke. What is it that we need to know in this situation that's going to help Kiwi Kid move forward? Obviously, you are growing stronger, but it feels like it shouldn't have to be this hard. You know what I mean? For you to be able to move forward, it shouldn't have to be this hard. D-E-A-T-H, the two D words right next to each other. So yeah, like I was saying, somebody was like literally trying to take you out. Now they're being blocked. This devil energy is being blocked, which means it gives you an opportunity to raise your own frequency and do some cleansing. Yeah, it is like this. Yeah, every time you feel like you're okay, something new comes up. I know, isn't it? Isn't it the truth? But eventually, you guys, you'll work through certain types of issues, and then new ones will come forward. But any type of progression forward is good progression. So, Spirit, what do we need to know besides about him becoming stronger? What else do we need to know about the situation? Seven of Pentacles, that there's going to be some type of turnaround. So stop putting so much energy into worry. A Seven of Pentacles is like the turning of the tables. With all of this, yeah, with all of this being cleared and removed, it's going to give you an opportunity to cleanse. And then with you cleansing, you're going to raise your frequency, and you changing your thought pattern, I think, is the most important thing, in your beliefs. Because we can't control other people, so there's no point. Okay. All moon magic, we cancel and rebuke that. We're not coming into alignment with any moon magic that has been done. It's ridiculous. The Queen of Wands. Who is this Queen of Wands? Who is this Queen of Wands? Does Irene practice witchcraft? I mean, I'm not getting that she does. Who is the Queen of Wands? Can we get clarity on that? A witch. Other than that, can we get some more information on that? Jeez, we already know that. Like, we've already established that. Oh, maybe Elizabeth is the Queen of Wands. Elizabeth? Yes. Okay, good job, Kiwi Kid. So did Elizabeth curse your love life? Yes. Oh my goodness. Okay, we're going to clear that energy right now and put a stop to whatever she's doing. Oh, hell no. Okay, this person is the person that was causing the gang stalking. This Elizabeth person. The Hangman, trying to sacrifice you. Actually, that would make sense. That would actually make sense. Because when somebody tries to spiritually sacrifice you, they're basically trying to give your soul up to an entity so that your body gets taken over. That's like really evil, and nobody should be doing weird shit like that, and thinking that they're never going to get caught and that it'll not backfire is stupid. Okay? God, we ask for divine intervention on this situation. Divine realm, archangels, Kiwis, if there was also anything that was done to cut love out of his life, and then also anything that was done to separate him from his spiritual team, we need that undone. What else was done? Hex work. Okay, we need that undone as well. And we want this devil influence that has been after Kiwi Kid for like years here. We want that removed. A Knight of Wands. This is the person that Elizabeth is with. And a complete total retard. Not to be rude. I'm not making fun of retarded people. But this person is giving like slow. Okay. All right. Maybe they're under witchcraft as well. Damn. Let's see what else. What else do we need to know, Holy Spirit? about this situation that can be, worked on right now. This Knight of Wands is not innocent. They're completely complicit in whatever this stupidness is. Knight of Pentacles. They portray themselves to be something that they're not. I feel like there is some devil energy behind both. Well, this is one person, the Knight of Wands, the Knight of Pentacles. But there is a devil energy that's been after you for years. Okay, we cancel whatever that is about, God. We cancel and rebuke it. What do we need to know about so we can overcome that type of challenge? Like when a devil comes for us for years. Like, that's stupid. Is this a generational thing? No. Okay. Well, I just had to ask. It does seem like it's based upon the moon cycles. That's why it feels like some things get better and then they go back. Ace of Pentacles. This was definitely with the intention to block God's flow into your life. The Ace of Pentacles, I feel like money coming in and these blockages, these people being removed out of your energy. If you have any connection to Elizabeth, sever that. Like, literally, I would suggest blocking on all social media. And you don't have to tell her you know that what she's doing, but I would make sure that she doesn't have access to anything, any new information of yours. Nobody's going to be able to block God, what God's going to do in your life. No one will be able to do that. I mean, why would anybody want to? Psychopath, that's why. Seven of Cups, delusions, that's why. People stuck in their shadow side, they can't balance themselves. Yeah, these people are not, I would be like, God, I don't want anyone if I can't benefit off of my own work, or if I can't benefit off of me, I don't want anyone else benefiting off of me. I think that that's a fair statement to make, because these people want to use you to sacrifice you to benefit off of your energy. And what do you get out of that? Just more witchcraft. That's not acceptable. And we're no longer in the age of Pisces where you can just sacrifice any person and then it's just going to be accepted by the divine. People need to get out of that mentality and stop covering themselves in chicken blood and whatever other weird shit that they're doing, because it's not helping. Five of Pentacles. These people were trying to literally make you completely broken and cast it away. And now they're facing that. I do not feel bad for these people, not one bit. They deserve everything that they're about to go through. Because you survived it by the grace of God, but these people, they don't have God in their life. They have the devil, so they're not going to be able to survive this. We are calling for the Job season in Kiwi Kid's life to be over. Kiwi Kid, after this reading, I want you to go read the part in the Bible, or have YouTube read it to you about the book of Job. You're going to find a lot of similarities in the situations you've been going through from those stories. Aliisha, I don't know how to say that. Sonia Love. No, I'm getting Elizabeth. Can you subconsciously do witchcraft without knowing? Well, yes. Yes and no. I mean, you don't control. So people that have a psychic ability and don't know that they have a psychic ability, when they focus negatively on somebody, it can show up as witchcraft, but they don't know that they're doing it. So I would say, yeah, you can do it, but you don't know that you're doing it. And then some people figure out that, okay, they can send negative energy, and then they start to do it intentionally. And then that's what we call the evil eye. But yeah. Also, if somebody has a possession, they're either being possessed and used by an entity, or they have an attachment around them, then that attachment could be working through them to send the energy, and they could be unaware of that as well. Three of Wands. So this is still talking about you creating a new path. You basically, what these people have been blocking was your new beginning. A new business idea is assured. Anticipate obstacles and visualize how you'll overcome them. So without this stuff here, Because look, these people need to figure out how they're going to overcome the challenges that they put you through. I want you to listen to the story of Job, okay? Because that's going to give you a lot of faith when it comes to recovering everything that you lost by the hands of these people and by the hands of the devil. God will replenish. And not only just once, but like 10 times over. And wouldn't that be a beautiful thing? Four of Pentacles, because you do have natural gifts and abilities. These people were trying to cut you off from your spiritual self. They didn't want you to use these gifts and abilities and talents that you already have to make money. And they also didn't want you having a love union with anyone. And who the hell are they to say that? To determine what you get to have and what you don't get to have. People need to literally mind their own business. It would save them a lot of trouble if they would just mind their own business. Page of Cups. Beware of these people doing things for materialistic gain. In their mind, they need the nicest things. Okay, well, they can go take that energy and shove it up their a-hole for all I care. Because look, you've been surviving on the meekest of things, like the not having everything that you need. There's enough of that. That has gone on for long enough. So whatever lessons that you need to absorb from this situation, you need to know that you are enough, that your solar plexus, you are enough. When you use the techniques in the truth of God, you understand, you make a connection with God. There is no possible way that God is not enough. God is the thing that is flowing through everything. So when you make a connection with your real self, it breaks you out of that illusion. But it's like having a muscle within yourself that you go back and you work out all of the time, right? So this looks like a turnaround is going to happen. I think we needed to find out about your love life being hexed and all that stuff and that charm. So with this stuff being cleared, I would allow things to shift. But remember, do the foot soak. Take actions to resolve the energy. Yeah, these people are up under judgment now. They're not going to get out from up under judgment because we're not the ones that called it. I didn't even know about the situation till today. So, like, I didn't call judgment on it. The divine is. Because it's gone on for long enough. You discovering your real self, your higher self, God, is going to get you out of this. And with the work that we do, it's going to put you in a position to where you can start anew. And you've already got these gifts and abilities within you. It's just going within and accessing them. Page of Wands. You've had these abilities since you were a child, since you were younger. What else do we need to know before we go? I'm getting that things are going to become significantly easier. Try not to go back into old thinking patterns. I can't stress getting the truth of God enough and using the mind technique and going through all of the things that you've thought and believed. Manually go through them and clear them and get rid of them. Because those things, those thoughts and beliefs, you don't want to just keep recreating the same experiences. Okay. 9 of Pentacles. See, you are able to stand on your own 2 feet as it is now, even with all of this stuff going on. Yes, I pray that you guys work it out. But remember, you want to be in good space when you write to her, if you decide to show up at her house, however you decide to contact her, you want to be in the right space. And I would give it a little bit of time just so that the energy can shift. Because when I use the techniques from the truth of God, I shift dimensions, I shift realities. Like literally to the point where I have mandala effects. So by you clearing up these old beliefs that you have, maybe there was an insecurity of you being able to stand on your own 2 feet. I think you've proven that you can do that. And that you can be a provider. But again, you need to make a communication with her to ask her if she is still wanting the same things. 3 of Pentacles. Because there will be a soul tribe of community to back you. You've got some people that will back you. I think that getting out of hermit mode is another part of, you know, witchcraft isolates people. The Knight of Swords, and not coming in. Look, somebody is coming after these people in the spirit. I mean, like literally they owe debts. They're broke and they don't have a home for some reason. Also, if you can get on a bus, if she doesn't live far away enough that you can get on a bus to go see her, you know, I think you just need to make a communication with her and start praying Psalm 91. Start anointing yourself, anointing your house, anointing your body, not just sitting in the negative energy and accepting it. Start rebuking these things. Say, I don't come into agreement or alignment with anything that's keeping me separate from my higher self. 8 of Pentacles. Because it looks like the work that you end up doing on yourself is going to get you in a position to where you will have the ability to purchase a vehicle soon. Well, I would say in the next 6 months. Maybe that's not soon to you. But to me, when it comes to purchasing a car, 6 months is like probably a good thing. 10 of Swords. These people are cooked. They're bottoming out. That's sad. Well, they need to repent. I mean, they can get, well, it is what it is. These people open the door to the devil. You never open the door to the devil. This is why the devil has been trying to affect you through people who are on the outside of you, because it can't jump in your body. So it's going to try to do some other stupid shit. What else do we need to know about the moon magic? That it was on a cycle, so it was keeping you in a cycle. With that being broken and with judgment being called, I feel like these people are going to come to a complete stop. The Hermit. This is what I was just saying about you getting out of hermit mode. It may take a little bit of courage, you know. If you have to go to a support group, do everything that you can do. Talk with a therapist. I know if you can't go in person, that Better, and I don't sponsor BetterHelp, but I've heard about them and I've heard of many people being happy with them. But I think talking your issues through with somebody is a very good, healthy thing to do. I'm always going to tell you guys to make sure that if you think that witchcraft is going on and you're having symptoms of it, go to the doctor, get checked out, go to a therapist. Because why do I say that? Because if the test results come back with nothing, then 99% that most likely that is witchcraft then. But if it comes back as something, then there could be something genetic or, you know, not genetic. It could just be something else, right? Like I had an appendix taken out. Well, I had it rupture. It was like very painful, not fun experience. But that was not a genetic thing. That was because I had a self-worth issue that went on for way too long. I was in a relationship where I was being compared to somebody's ex-wife for years and years and years and years. And that person was blatantly still in love with the ex-wife. The moment that I dumped that person, that I got rid of that person, where did they go to? They went right back to the ex-wife. So like I was having my brain played on, and I was having witchcraft done on me. So, you know, I am evidence that you can get out of this. But getting out of hermit mode, I totally understand being in hermit mode. Sometimes we have to self-isolate just so that we can figure out and isolate whatever the issue is or person is that we need to detach from. Magician. And then call your power and your energy back to you, Kiwi Kid. Say, all of the energy that's been wasted all of this time, I call my energy and my power back to me, and I'm ready to step into my destiny. And work with affirmations. Even if you don't believe the affirmation, I don't care. Still affirm what you want. At least it creates a new neural pathway. And when you get the truth of God and you use the mind technique, that clears away the stuff that counteracts your affirmations. So a lot of the times when you're wanting something, you just need to ask. And this is why sleeping on it, have you ever heard anybody say like, oh, just sleep on it and see how it turns out? What that means is like before you go to sleep, make the intention that, okay, I would like to receive an answer to this relationship and situation. Do I move forward? Is this situation going to even work? Because I feel like if there's no possibility for it to work, then there's no point in wasting any more time on it, right? But I do get that she's got to want the same things that you want, right? Where she's living, you know, where she's living, if you've got that address, I would write her a letter. Because at least if you try, you won't be sitting around going like, oh, I just wasted all my time and I didn't try. And now I'm older and thinking that you're ruined. But no, I think that people are golden. They get better with age. Okay. I am much better now than I was when I was younger. The Queen of Swords, and knowing who to cut off is the most important thing. Not that we're intentionally running around just trying to cut people off, but we have to know who is for us and who's not for us. And look, Irene is in the energy of the Queen of Wands. She got because she feels hurt. She feels broken. It's not your job to fix her. It's your job to fix you. But in the process of you fixing yourself within, the outside of you is going to be fixed as well. And if that includes her, that's why you need to ask for confirmation and signs. Like a dream. That's why doing it right before you go to sleep is really, really helpful. Just to let you guys know, if you have personal questions, to send me a $20 super chat with your question. Please don't spam the chat with your question, okay? I need to be able to see the people that I'm talking to, what they have to say. Justice. I do feel like you are owed justice because something very unjust was done. When it comes to her believing a lie about you, that was very unjust. I do feel like you're owed justice. And maybe she was feeling like she was owed justice, but the truth will come out eventually. Yeah, it's saying to move forward, and then contracts, agreements, and legal disputes are resolved in your favor. So again, justice being on your side, I think that that's a big deal. She could have cut you off thinking that she needed justice, and she really cut. You guys are, your guys' energy matches each other. So it feels to me like there was a lot that was done. All of these different layers we've been pulling back. There was a lot that was done. Ace of Wands. It's still talking about beginning a new project. Maybe this is working on yourself, working on your spiritual hygiene, allowing things to be the way that they are, accepting yourself as you are, and then knowing that you're going to learn and grow as well. That's part of the process. Like sometimes if I have like a headache, I'll take headache pills, right? Like Tylenol and ibuprofen basically, and whatever Aleve is. I'll take medicine. So I've done something in the physical about it, right? And then I kind of just wait and see if that kicks in. If that doesn't kick in, then I go, okay, maybe the medicine wasn't what needed to happen. Then I will go to drinking Gatorade. Usually Gatorade will take away probably 70% of the headache, like if I don't have enough electrolytes. So when you come across, I'm using that as an example, because when you come across an issue that you feel like you can't get around, try different approaches. Because sometimes if you're just taking the same exact approach to whatever problem, you may not be addressing it in the way that it needs to be addressed, right? And then if something persists, obviously go to the doctor, right? To get checked out. And then if you find out that it comes back that nothing is wrong and you've done all of the different testing, then I would be like, okay, there's obviously something very spiritual going on. But also if the testing comes back positive that you have something going on, ask your family members if you still have connection to them about it. Okay, because one of the reasons I wanted to find my birth parents is so that I could ask them what the hell was going on with all of this psychic, crazy, mentally insane, bipolar crap. Like literally, I needed somebody to ask about that. And so if you have access to family members that know that, oh yeah, this runs in the blood. Oh yeah, that runs in the blood. Like when I talked to my grandma, she was like, oh yeah, the aliens. Like Of course, my people come from Africa, so, you know, the aliens show themselves over there much more. Okay, is there anything else we need to know about this situation before we go? 8 of Cups. Sometimes you have to walk away from your current perspective, right? Also, you have to walk away from relationships that don't serve your highest and best good. And sometimes walking away doesn't mean that it's the end forever. It just means that you're going to preserve your own energy, okay? So I get that these people are going to have to walk away from doing witchcraft. I'm also getting that, you know, they may have to relocate somewhere else. Yeah. But if you begin a new project, if you focus on yourself, if you focus on cleansing, healing, going within, and then asking yourself those questions of why is this wound not going away? Stuff like that, and take little steps each day, you're going to get to a space where either you're okay with whatever the outcome is. The world. See, because the world has a lot more to offer you than what you've been receiving. And I think that that's a very important thing to keep in your mind's eye. Though there is so much more to life than just what we see. You know, we only see from our perspective, but when we can change our perspective, we can see things that maybe we would never have been able to notice. I also get that forgive these people for what they've done, because holding on to grudges doesn't hurt them, it hurts you. When we hold on to grudges, it's like us drinking poison and thinking that the other person's going to get poisoned. Like, we can't drink the poison ourselves and think someone else will get poisoned. So looking at it from that logical perspective, knowing that when you have a witch that's actively, I mean, this person's so delusional that they actually thought that they had to do witchcraft to become safe or something. Weirdo. I think that they just wanted control where they didn't have control. I feel like you've got justice on your side. Okay. So I'm going to answer Marina's question, and then actually I'm going to go to the bathroom really quick. Then I'll set the timer. Give me 1 second, you guys. Maybe 2 seconds. Okay. Okay, so give me 1 second to read your question. So last night, and thank you for sending that. You had a dream someone told you, okay, your hair is now connected to the hive system in the ground. You woke up trying to undo it. You keep having dreams like this, and you keep up waking like you didn't want it to happen. Okay, that's interesting. So the hive, to a hive system. When I think of a hive system, I'm thinking about a group consciousness. You know how like a hive, they're like a group consciousness. So they're all working. Every bee that's in the hive is working for, I want to say, for a higher agenda, right? So yeah. Okay. And also, this is going to sound really strange, but I watched a synopsis, hopefully I'm using that word right, of this movie called Begonia. Marina, you should watch it. It's named after the flower, the begonia. Anyways, it in the movie, it's got Emma Stone in it. I don't want to give away the whole movie, but basically, it's about the Andromedans. Okay, this guy figures out that she's an Andromedan. And without giving it all away, the Andromedans connect to the hive mind through their hair. So this crazy person, and the Andromedans were the ones that created all humans. It's a really good story. You should definitely watch the movie. It's called Begonia. And Emma Stone does an amazing, I mean, she does very good at playing like very abstract, strange characters. But anyways, that's kind of what I'm getting. I mean, that the information for that movie had to come somewhere, even though I don't think Andromedans created humans. They probably added that in. But they basically shaved her head so she couldn't communicate with the hive mind, like the higher consciousness of that group. Okay, so now that we have that out of the way, because that is very interesting. Yeah, your hair carries your DNA, but it's almost like an antenna as well. I've always thought of his hair this way. That's why a lot of cultures, well, Samson, we know that when, oh my gosh, this is all like literally becoming very clear. Samson and Delilah, the story in the Bible where Delilah gets close to Samson and asks like, well, how do you have this strength? And he says, my hair. When she cuts his hair, that's like symbolically cutting him off from like his ancestral extraterrestrial help. That's, to me, that's really wild. That's really wild that this is all coming full circle. So yeah, hair is very significant. There's also another movie that's called Weapons, and it involves hair. It's another horror movie. But anyways, this weird looking lady, I mean, she is weird as shit. She's like a witch. She carries around this plant with her. She takes a piece of the plant, like a little twig off of it, and she'll take somebody's hair or something, like usually it's their hair or something that they've touched, and she wraps around the twig, and then when she snaps it, she has full control over that person and turns them into a weapon. That may be another thing that if you don't like horror, then both of Begonia and Weapons, but there is a connection there with everything we're talking about. So yeah, your hair is very important. Make sure that like if you're over at other people's house, don't give other people access to your hair. I will tell you that. It's best for you to just cut your own hair, trim your own hair, clean it, and all of that, rather than giving somebody else access. So what could be going on in the dream state? Well, first of all, you could have a connection to inner earth. And crazy. So in the spaceship in Begonia, there's like a flat earth. I personally don't believe in flat earth, but like people of the old day, whatever. People will argue about that all the time. Anyways, it was like flat earth, and then there was like this huge dome that went around the earth. There's something significant about the inner earth when it comes to you. And also you being connected to a hive system. I'm not getting a negative connection, but I am getting that there could be a fear. So let's see what comes out in the tarot. The tarot is really good at pulling out things that may not be on the forefront of our mind, right? Because dreams are also very abstract. But yeah, thinking about how when Delilah cuts Samson's hair, he loses all of his power. And then in Begonia, when you watch that, you'll see what happens, how it progresses. Four of Wands. So this to me feels like that your dreams are alluding to a group project that you had with a collective. So some of those people in that hive collective are actually on the planet. Some of them are not on the planet. I feel like you have access to both of them. Interesting. But this also talks about the completion of a project. Now, the name begonia it's a name of a flower that it's actually a annual flower, so it has to be planted every year, but it spreads a lot of pollen, and they make a connection in begonia with a bee experiment and the Andromedans. And so I feel like you really need to watch that movie because, yeah, you're picking up on things that are actually in that movie that collectively make sense, right? You're also being told to reward yourself for the success that you've already achieved. You are making the planet a better place. Oh my gosh, the world. This could not be any more dead on. You're literally making the world a better place. And look, now I'm noticing these people here. Well, this is an animal, angel, animal, and sometimes animals are angels. I believe that animals are angels in disguise, and then a lot of the angels are represented with animal heads. Not the archangels, but like the cherubim or the seraphim. So yeah, this is definitely talking about your ability to connect to the world. The hive in the ground. I know that there's reptilians that live in the ground. Maybe that's part of where this fear is stemming from. I feel like on other planets, the reptilians have gone to other planets and completely destroyed and depleted the resources there. I just heard yes. Okay. So there could be a fear within you of that happening to this planet, but the reason that you and this hive collective of extraterrestrials have been sent to this planet, and the reason the UFOs keep circling the planet is because, well, first of all, the reptilians are being eradicated, okay? There are a few that are still in elite systems, but most of them are being eradicated. And so you're setting forth the new groundwork for the future people of the planet to evolve from. Yeah, whatever you give to the world will be returned to you many times over. And this also talks about your goals being achieved collectively and individually. Strength. And look what we're talking about with the hair and strength. That is like so, it's symbolic, but it's literal as well. Because you've been able to endure so much adversity. So you keep having the same dream. I feel like because there's two hive consciousnesses that are at each other. See, the one that you're connected to, I wouldn't necessarily call them Andromedans. I think that they're more from the Orion system. So I'm not for sure exactly what ETs come from there, but I do get that they oppose reptilians. Okay, so there is some, but this group of beings that you're still attached to is not the type of group that's a warring group. They're a peaceful, Zen, meditative, like they're not going to hunt down the reptilians and annihilate them. Okay, let's just say that. Instead they focus on influencing the planet in a positive way to move away from the fight or flight reptilian agenda. So I get that that's where part of your divine life purpose comes in. You've been to many planets trying to save the planet from these beings. And I'm not just trying to trash talk reptilians. Like, it is what it is, okay? I think some of them have the ability to evolve as well. You are very aware of the reptilians, yeah. Knight of Wands. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if one came in and tried to date you. Because they want to know what your agenda is. Isn't that funny? And they'll utilize people to find that out. But I also get that they already know what the agenda is, to collectively, just like how they are collectively feeding off of fear and spreading fear and doing stupidness. I won't say it's satanic because I'm not for sure, but it could be. You're like have your group of beings, your soul tribe has the opposite agenda. And there's many more of you than there are of them. And so, yeah, this is definitely a fear that they have. And the reptilians are they're inside and under the earth. Some of them are walking around as people during, I mean, they are, but there's not very many of them left. The Empress, and you're holding divine feminine energy, which is Queen Bee. This is like you being the Queen Bee of this group. So yeah, they definitely, I understand that they would want to know where you were at. But even with that, even with trying to access your dreams, there's nothing that they can do about it. You're already here. It's not like they can just send you back into space. You know what I mean? Like you also have divine protection, which is something that, you know, some people don't even take into consideration. They're just like so goal orientated. Got to stop this. The reptilians' time is over. It's time for humankind to evolve. And that's nothing to diss the reptilians. I'm not trying to make them out to be the villain of all villains, right? 10 of Cups. Yeah, because you're creating a happily ever after, which includes great friends, a special love relationship, having commitments made and kept. And when it comes to spreading, you know how bees, when they land on a flower, their little like, what is it, whiskers or whatever, maybe they have honey on them, I don't know. But however they take the pollen from one flower to another, that's something that you're actively doing energetically. So it's, you know, without bees, the world would collapse, okay? Unless there's another insect that can do what bees do, but I highly doubt it, not in the way that they can do it. Four of Swords, you could have literally had experiences with bees like coming really close to you. Now I know when I'm in tune with nature, when I go out into the yard, if it's daytime, there are always bees or wasps around me. And it's almost like I can feel and sense that they know that when I'm there watering the plants, or if I'm deadheading and pulling the old flowers off, or I'm putting down like the moisturizer, the Miracle Grow for the plants, it's like those insects that normally I would be afraid of being close to me, it's like they know that I'm there tending to the flowers so they can have more pollen. And it's a very weird connection. You could possibly have that same connection with bees, like bees, wasps, anything, or bumblebees, anything of that nature. This is the end of a battle. Like I was saying, when it comes to the reptilians, they're just dying out because they can't reproduce. And when they do reproduce, they're the types, I mean, the negative ones, because there are some that are enlightened, but they're the types that will bite the heads off their own children, okay? If they're unhappy. So they used to be the apex predator on this planet, and now they're just outnumbered. You came into agreement with a wasp family a few years ago. So yeah, you definitely understand about that frequency. Yes. Yeah, we're ascending and they can't be in that frequency. That's exactly it. That's why it's so important to like do the inner work just to heal the shadow or integrate it. Because there's really nothing wrong with the shadow. See, people think of the shadow as something that's evil, but all the shadow is like from the moment that you were born, every time you were told no, every time that you were told to be quiet, or that your ideas were stupid, or whatever the things, everybody's got different traumas, but the shadow holds all of that unresolved trauma that just gets pushed to the side because we have to focus on other tasks during the day. And so when we go and work on healing those deep-seated wounds and we integrate that shadow, we begin to shine brighter. Our frequency raises. And then we're not separated within ourselves, feeling like we have two selves or one side of us and another side of us. And we come into peace. That's what it is. Peace and harmony. We come into peace and harmony with the parts of us that are unhealed. By doing that, it makes it so people can't use the shadow, the fight or flight, the fear response against us, because we're like, no, I know, every once in a while, these stupid beings may try to catch you. The energy just came off of this. It may be necessary for you to get one of these, or very helpful. One of the evil eye, I think they're called Turkish blue evil eye amulets. You can get this in jewelry, like actually necklace, earrings. They've got so much different stuff with this on it. If you just type it in, like you can go on Tumu and then put it out in the sun and let the sun charge it, because the Eye of Ra is what the evil eye amulet is, and it counteracts. Well, it protects from the evil eye, basically. They should give it a better name, though. But yeah, the Eye of Ra is the sun. The Eye of Horus is the moon. This also talks about forgiveness and reconciliation. And this could be with people in your family. This could be with people that you used to know. This also talks about you being able to purchase a home and make commitments that are long-lasting. Yeah, I feel like you tapping into your divine feminine energy, it's so powerful that it's going to blow all this other stuff away. And you know that you're protected and at peace. When you recognize the consciousness and the animals around you, then how they are there to protect you. Like when I see horses in person, I get an overwhelming feeling of protection. Like I feel like, and I ran into a mountain lion one time in the mountains, and I felt safe. Okay, even though it was hunched down and it was doing its like predator thing, like when it's going to pounce on someone. And all I could really do is yell mountain lion because we were camping. But yeah, somebody fired their gun off in one of the next campsites and it probably ran. But there's something significant at being one with nature, being able to look at a predator that could easily devour you in the eye and have a mutual understanding like that. That's a superpower. That literally is. Like with the horses, I can look at the horses and have a full-blown conversation with them and find out what it's usually stemmed around jealousy if they're upset or some other condition, but I can literally see what's going on with them. And I feel like you can do that as well. So you could very well be a pet psychic. The Chariot. The Chariot is like a very fast-moving energy. I get that you're overcoming some type of, well, it was some type of difficulty. I think that saying yes to the right person, not this person, the right person is a big deal for you. Because I feel like you don't trust people unless you know for certain you can trust them. And this person that wants to come from the past, they can't be trusted. And they're already showing their reptilian side. They're just nosy. It's like when I opened the door and I was like, dang it. And I let that fly in. I knew it was there to monitor me because it could have flown to any other part of the house, but had to like be there all up in my business, annoying the shit out of me, like all up in my space while I was cooking. You know what I mean? The spirit in the universe has a unique way of bringing things to the forefront so that we can see them and then work on them. Like, but this is actually a really good thing. So yeah, if you're waking up from the dream feeling like, oh, that wasn't supposed to happen, it could be that you were picking up on a monitoring energy, trying to look to see what the next plan is. The next plan is the same plan it's always going to be, to ascend. That's the plan. So all the reptilians that are listening and watching, the plan is the same plan it's always been, to ascend. And you're raising yourself out of the frequency of these other people and their energies. And if they want to come and play and be around you, they've got to raise their frequency. And if they raise their frequency, then they're going to change themselves, which is probably a good thing. I don't know if these reptilian beings have a soul or what's going on, why they're so jealous of humans, but they need to get past it because they live a lot longer than people do. 9 of Cups. So it looks like your wish fulfillment's coming in. Maybe they want to know about your wish fulfillment. Your wish fulfillment includes the highest and best good for everyone. Like, including these bottom suckers over here. Not to be rude to the reptilians, but they need to get it together. But from their perspective, like, they don't feel the full spectrum of emotions. So I can understand why they have remained the same. But at the same time, like, it's time to get it together and to change. And yes, what you represent opposes this reptilian agenda, but it also includes the highest and best good for the entire planet. So these beings that are lesser in vibration, lesser in power, lesser in every type of way, they can evolve and become better, but right now they're not. So remember, Marina, watch the movie Begonia. It's like, let me see how it's spelled. Let me just type in alien movie with Emma Watts. Wow, how creepy is that? These are telepathic machines. Emma Stone, not Emma Watts, my bad. Let's see how it's spelled. Yeah, Begonia. Okay, so it's Bugonia. Yeah, you're going to find a lot of downloads in that, like a lot. So Begonia, yeah, I would watch that one first. I mean, it's probably in the horror section or it's in sci-fi, but it's not actually scary. So there's nothing terrifying about it, but it's a very good representation. I mean, it's genius. I think that Emma Stone, is that what her name is? I think that, yeah, Emma Stone. I think that she's probably going to end up winning an award for this movie because she does. And also the lead character, the male lead character, that's a crazy person. I feel like they did such good acting jobs that they'll probably win an award for that. So check that out. You'll get a lot of downloads, and then tell me about it when we talk next. Okay, you guys, I love you so much. Thank you for making it to the ending of this reading. Oh my gosh, this is like one of the longest ones I've ever done, but thank you everybody that donated. You guys are so amazing. So remember, for those of you that are interested in expanding your consciousness and your awareness and developing and using the techniques from the Truth of God, this is the Truth of God. It is definitely worth getting. It's a book that you'll use more than once. So I have this book tagged in the products and linked in the description box below. And I've also got Vassago Tarot Card Spreads and Spells tagged in the products and linked in the description box below. And both of those books, and I've got other books that are spiritual books that you guys will enjoy as well. So when you've got time, I would definitely invest. The Vassago Tarot Card Spreads and Spells is going to teach you how to read tarot cards for yourself and for other people. And I also have the Quick and Easy Original Rider-Waite Tarot deck tagged in the products and linked in the description box below. Thank you guys so much for being here with me. I love you so much. God bless you. Peace be with you. Please like the video, tap the notification bell, make sure you are subscribed. All of that helps the platform so much. And then watch the readings, like just go through the different titles and whichever one comes up next that you feel resonates, watch it, because each reading is going to have a download that's going to help you with your spiritual journey. So that's what they are here for. Okay, I love you guys so much. Kisses, hugs, God bless you, and peace be with you. And I'll see you guys in the next one, okay? Bye.